Broadcasting live from the True Crime Today studios to the world. This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
From the Hit Killers podcast, Murder in the Morning.
The story of Lucy Letby. This is one that we've covered late last year and early this year. Was getting a closer look from an Innocence Project in the UK, despite the ungodly amount of overwhelming evidence against Lucy Letby for killing a lot of babies, including weird notes in her house talking about I killed them and all sorts of shit, where it really should be open and shut. But I guess everyone needs a cheerleader and believes that maybe they're not evil. Tech billionaire Mike Lynch was one of those people. And he died in a yacht accident off the coast of Sicily just the other day. He had reportedly been considering funding an Innocence Project to investigate the conviction of Lucy Letby, the former nurse found guilty of murdering 7 babies and attempting to kill 6 others at the Countess of Chester Hospital. The revelation comes as medical and legal experts continue to question the evidence used to convict Letby, describing it as unsafe. What does unsafe mean when it comes to...
I think in the UK that might mean that it could be overturned.
Okay. Lynch, known for his expertise in probability theory and his involvement in high-profile legal battles, was one of 7 people who lost their lives when his yacht, a Bayesian, sank during a storm. The incident claimed the lives of Lynch, his 18-year-old daughter Hannah, and 5 others, including Morgan Stanley International Bank Chairman Jonathan Bloomer and his wife Judith, as well as Clifford Chance, lawyer Christopher Morvillo, and his wife, Neda. Lynch's wife, Angelica Bacares, was among the 15 survivors who managed to escape on a lifeboat. This is what you got to learn. This is why we don't take yachts out. Stacey, this is why we just stick with the fishing.
Well, Tony, I put my yacht in storage, and I just prefer a kayak at this point because, yachts attract attention. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to go on the yacht. The kayak, it's just me. So I don't have to deal with all the champagne and the Grey Poupon and all that stuff. So I'm good. I'm good.
You have too much Grey Poupon on the yacht. And I tell you what, shit goes to hell.
Shit happens
really quick. You don't want to do too much Grey Poupon on the yacht. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Start putting the Grey Poupon and mix it with the caviar. And then you have it on the Bellinis. And then you're sipping the Prosecco with it. And it's like, holy shit. What?
It's a whole thing.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I shit you not. I don't know if I should even share this on the air. But
what?
So I do enjoy caviar. And I don't get it very often. But when I've been on, and me and Harper, my daughter, who's 12, we go on like a trip or something, we'll get it sometimes, like at a restaurant or something, as a treat. It's not like, oh, let's go have caviar this afternoon as a, after school snack or something like that. But I've kind of developed a taste for it. And
isn't it just salty? Just add some extra salt.
No, that's the shitty stuff. No.
Well, that's all I've ever had.
Well, that's what I thought it was like too, until I had the good stuff. And we were at a restaurant one day. And I said to Harper, because there was a place here in town that serves it at a fairly reasonable price, and it's decent stuff. And I said, you want to get the caviar again, because we'd gotten it the last time we were there. And she's like, Dad, caviar again?
Oh my God, Tony, stop.
And I had to say to her, I'm like, oh my God, the fact that you just said that out loud. She's like, I didn't mean to sound that pretentious. And then I'm like, well, it sure did. And she's just like,
well, I'm glad she is keeping you in check. You are out of control.
Oh my.
Clearly.
Dad, caviar again.
God.
Then we went to tea time at the Plaza Hotel a couple weeks ago and had tea time. But of course, we began with caviar service.
Will you adopt me, please?
It was nuts. It was, well, when we have the Real Story Media party at some point, I'll get some caviar for all of us to enjoy. And it'll be served by people dressed in cat suits and whatever other weird shit we can come up with.
That works.
It'll be and it'll be like the Tea Party on Alice in Wonderland. We're all going to have to dress like the characters.
Okay, I can
and
do
we
that.
have to put our little pinky fingers out, and then we can enjoy it all as
excellent
as should be. Anyway,
and then we can hop on the yacht.
Exactly, hop on the yacht and go and sail into the sunset while listening to Christopher Cross's Sailing. Former Brexit Secretary David. Exactly. Former Brexit Secretary David Davis revealed Lynch's interest in the Letby case, knowing that Lynch had questioned the statistical evidence that played a crucial role in her conviction. Mike was a world-class expert on probability theory and saw straight through the statistical weaknesses that underpinned the Letby prosecution, Davis wrote. Lynch's expertise with the justice system, particularly his own decade-long battle against the charges in the U.S., may have influenced his interest in investigating possible miscarriages of justice like Letby's. That's kind of what made Letby so unique, is it was insane. But sometimes you have a person that's insane, that does horrible, horrible things. Letby was sentenced to 15 whole life orders, so basically 15 life sentences, making her only the fourth woman in the UK history to be told she will never be released from prison. That's kind of fucking crazy. Only 4 people in the UK, women, have ever been told you're in prison for life? 4?
Yeah, they kind of have a different system over there where you actually do get out and try to be a reformed human being. Whereas here we throw people away for the rest of their lives.
I'm okay with that.
I know.
There's certain people that I'm okay with throwing away for the rest of their lives.
Some people absolutely deserve that. But yeah. I wonder if they're leaning on more of, we just don't know for sure if people are intrinsically bad. And they are.
They are. There's several that just are. It's not a normal thing. I think most people are good, but you have some odd ones that there's something wrong and they're a danger to themselves and society. And only 4 people in the fucking history of the UK? Ever? I'm sorry, your system's quite shitty if that's how that works. Because I can imagine there's many more that should never have gotten out of prison. The trial.
I agree.
It lasted 10 months. It was marked by complex medical evidence, statistical arguments. It took time to explain to the jury. Some of the evidence included notes written by Letby that read, "I am evil, I did this," and, quote, "I killed them on purpose because I am not good enough," which the prosecution presented as confessions. However, other notes suggested a different state of mind, with Letby writing, "Kill myself right now, ... hate my life, comma, fear, panic, comma, despair, comma, why me, ? I haven't done anything wrong. I'm sorry." Okay, so number one, she admitted to writing these things in court. It's not like these were planted. She admitted to writing this shit. That's not a normal human being or a healthy mind that's writing things down like, "I am evil, I did this, and I killed them in purpose." And then in the next one going, "Why me? I didn't do anything." That's a fucking sociopath or a psychopath or something very, very wrong with her brain.
Yeah, and it's not somebody that you want to have in healthcare, let alone healthcare of individuals that can't speak for themselves, infants. I mean, that's frightening. That's a lot of power in somebody's hands that is not doing well upstairs.
And again, I'm sorry, this is another story where there's so many people involved, so many other nurses, so many other doctors, so many other people at the hospitals, all of this that can attest to her behavior. Are all of them going to put their future on the line to frame Lucy Letby? I mean, who the fuck would do that? Yeah. And get all these people to do it simultaneously for no reason, really, at all, other than let's blame this one nurse on all of these things, which she clearly had some really weird interactions on. Several experts.
Yeah, she certainly did.
Several experts have criticized the conviction, arguing that the reliance on statistical evidence and expert opinion on complex medical issues created an unsafe basis for guilty verdicts. To me, that seems it really builds a really strong basis for guilty verdicts. Peter Green, a mathematics professor at Bristol University, told The Economist that the conviction is unsafe, while Philip David, the statistics professor at Cambridge University, said it leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Green and other experts argued in their booklet healthcare, serial killer, or coincidence?
Well, but think about it. She was working in the NICU. These are not healthy babies because healthy babies don't end up in the NICU. So is it possible that these babies were going to die anyway and she just happened to be on shift? I don't know.
No, because the autopsies of these kids showed like air being like plunged into their veins. So no, and if it wasn't her mind to kill them in a humane way, which I could say maybe, because we've seen other cases like that where doctors just take it into their own hands to play God. Maybe she was doing that in some way, shape, or form. But they're saying that using statistical correlations to establish guilt was flawed, comparing it to painting the target around the arrow. No, it wasn't. These are really glass half full people. Even when the glass is like cracked and broken and on the ground. It's like, it's shattered over there. It's half full. No, the glass is gone. It's still half full. I'm sorry. There's nothing on the table. You had too much to drink. Further complicating matters, the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, admitted errors in the evidence initially presented about staff entries and exits in the neonatal unit. Although they claim these mistakes were corrected during the retrial, this has not quelled concerns among some experts who believe the conviction should be re-examined. Channel 4, it's their big network over there, set to produce a 2-part documentary, The Trial of Lucy Letby, directed by Emmy Award-winning filmmaker Daniel Bagato. The series aims to explore the details of Letby's trial and the ongoing debates about her conviction. Meanwhile, the public inquiry into how Letby was able to commit her crimes on the neonatal unit will begin at Liverpool Town Hall. It's going to be interesting to watch and see what all happens here. I'm not going to say 1,000% that she's guilty. I'm going to say 100% that she's guilty. Is there a chance?
Not much.
Is there maybe 99.9% that she's guilty? Is there a chance? Yes, just the same way there's a chance that Scott Peterson is innocent too. But I need to see some evidence other than just, well, this is really not normal to statistics. Of course it's not. That's how they caught her. That's why. But I don't know. I'm starting to question Peterson too. So I get that. I can be swayed. I can be with the right evidence.
I just, somebody that, and I brought this up before, so I'm sorry if people are like, oh God, she's always talking about this, but I used to be in veterinary medicine, used to be a vet tech or veterinary nurse.
Talking about this again. Jesus
Oh gosh,
Christ.
Shut up. But that's my background. I went to that after radio, and I can tell you, when you're working around sick creatures, the odds go up that something bad is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't necessarily mean you're bad at your job. You might be that person that they lean on when there's an emergency. So then you're involved in that case that's not going to make it.
But there was so much in this where
I know.
It was, there was like case A through like, I don't know, Q or something of the babies. And every single one of them had like, Lucy was there. And then we found this in their system that shouldn't have been there. It wasn't just like they naturally died and Lucy happened to be the last nurse on call that, was holding the baby or, trying to help him through whatever. It was like, why the fuck was this injected into them? Why the fuck was this like, at the worst case, it's medical, at the least case, it's medical malpractice and someone doing shit they shouldn't be doing medically to a human being, regardless of what their state is. And more in reality, this is someone who had some sort of penchant to kill children. And I don't know that it's necessarily that, evil. I like to kill babies. I could see it kind of, being like she views herself in her own prism as, the angel of mercy. Like these kids are going to be dying anyhow. So let me help them along through this and not make them suffer. Like I said, we've seen that in other cases.
Yeah, that's a great point. I don't, it's just bizarre. But now that the guy died in a, yacht accident, there's nobody to fund this project anyway. I think it was a conspiracy.
I think Lucy Letby set up the storm. She's practicing
the water spout. Yeah.
She's practicing witchcraft from behind bars, and she summoned the spirit of water and wind to come and knock that yacht over. Actually, she would want that yacht to not be knocked over. So someone else is the witch. It wouldn't be Lucy.
Okay. Well, yeah, we need to think this through.
It's the spirits of all the dead children going, no, she fucking killed us. And if you're going to try and say that she didn't, bye-bye to that little yacht you got right there.
You're neck deep in a dark, twisted tale. And just as the tension peaks, bam, a commercial about some miracle diet pill breaks the spell. It's like finding a fly in your soup after the first bite. But here's the fix. True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. You get to enjoy your crime stories without the junk. Ad-free episodes, extended interviews that go beyond the surface, and early access to all the gruesome details. It's like swapping out a can of cheap beer for a glass of fine whiskey. So search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and keep the darkness flowing uninterrupted.